McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Perfect shot at 600. I think this one's ready to go. Welcome back, folks. This week we're going to kick off our new season in New Mexico, hunting speed goats on our lease out there. We're going to be taking our good friends at ADG Brass, Marlin and Mark. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, Forge Carbon Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Atlas Development Group, and Great Horizon Ranch.
So it's gotten to be kind of a tradition the last couple of years. Our first hunt of the season is with our good friend Larry Ellis. He's got a couple leases out in New Mexico that have a lot of elk and antelope and some other critters on them. So he invites us out to hunt with him. And this year, our good friends at ADG Brass, Marlin Jarnick and Mark Hammond, we loaned them a couple of MCRs and set them up, and they wanted to go with us. So we were just looking for a great adventure on our first hunt of the season. So on this trip, we're going to have Marlin Jarnick, who is the Chief Operating Officer of ADG Brass. ADG Brass is an American-made company located in Kentucky. They do a lot of things besides brass. They do some annealing equipment. They do some dies. They're starting to do some bolt faces for Remington 700 clones. Just a very innovative company, and like I said before, they make the best brass that we've ever seen. Mark Hammond is the Vice President of Engineering, and he was along for the ride. We had supplied them with two of the MCR rifles, of course shooting ADG Brass. They had shot them many times before they came on the hunt, so they were familiar with their guns and they were ready to hunt a speed goat. So this area in New Mexico that we had been to a couple of times, Denise and I had gone out there just the previous year. It's just a wide open place. I mean, you can get shots as close as 60 or 100 yards, or you can get shots over 1,000 yards. So we always made sure that we had the guns trued out to at least 1,000 yards. The other complicating factor is there can be extremely high winds out there too. So of course, if you want to make an ethical shot, that kind of brings your ethical shooting distance in a little bit. But we're always prepared to make a long shot if we need to. That's when everything that we do comes to fruition. So we arrive in New Mexico, a little city we're staying in, and we all eat dinner. We are real excited about the next morning. This isn't an outfitted hunt, so we're just hunting on a lease with a good friend. And so we all meet at breakfast. Everybody kind of looks at the map of the property, and everybody's kind of goes with somebody that knows the property pretty good. And we all just took off our separate ways. And Marlin and I and Mark and a good friend of ours, Big Dave Phillips, we all took off in one vehicle on the eastern part of the ranch there looking for some big pronghorns.
Oh. We better
big wide buck there.
we better kill that one.
We hunted hard. We saw a few goats. We had a couple of them that got away from us, but we finally spot a real wide, laid out, splayed horn type goat, and Marlin really liked him. So we let Marlin. He was grazing and feeding away from us. I think he was behind a female and kind of trying to make tracks on her, but steadily going away from us. So Marlin and a cameraman took off.
This segment is brought to you by Board and Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market, manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Board and Accuracy equals success.
Good job, buddy. Heck yeah, good shot. He worked out there on you. He's probably about 430 by the time you got him killed.
When we heard the shot, and it wasn't but one shot, we knew he was successful. We saw Marlin on top of the hill pumping his fist, so we made our way to him and went down to see his fine goat, and it was a really unique, wide goat, an older goat, and he had made a perfect shot with the gun, and the animal had not even taken a step.
All right, well, we spotted him 500 yards up, stopped the truck, started stalking. He went down over the hill and we came up over that rise. There he was, about 450 out. First morning, an hour in, McWhorter rifles, ADG brass, 450 yards.
Mark Hammond's up next, and it took a little while to find another good goat. We finally found one at probably close to a mile.
Right on.
Hopefully he'll be right in front of us. We got the wind blowing right in our face.
Heading up to this ridge to get behind a bush. Hopefully they'll cut off the buck we seen back down the road a ways.
He's still 1,200 yards.
I was gonna say, he seems awful long when he's out there.
He's there, I just can't see him. And we tried to close the distance. He kind of evaded us for quite a bit. And then we decided to get around in front of him. We parked behind a big rise, and the cameraman, myself, and Mark took off to try to get close enough to this goat to get a good shot. He's behind the cholla. Yeah. So let's go to this cholla, then the other one, and let's just, because eventually he's got to walk out here where he's above the grade and we can shoot him. Will that thing go to standing up position?
Yeah.
265.
265. Mark. He's looking at us. He's looking right at us.
All right. There he goes, piled up.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Leo Photo USA, Brux Barrels, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, and Borden Accuracy.
The antelope finally appeared at, I believe, 268 yards. He was quartered to slightly. 265.
265. Mark. He's looking at us. He's looking right at us.
All right.
Yeah, shoot him right there.
There he goes, piled up. We saw him and we couldn't get a good range on him, and then we tried to close the distance. He got just these subtle rises out here you don't know until you're on them, and we just couldn't see him. He was below the grade. Had him at about 465, but couldn't shoot him from the ground. Didn't want to stand up because he got a glimpse of us, but he kept quartering to us and got out here at 265, and then he's looking at us again. So it's now or never, and you dumped him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh yeah, look at that baby.
That sucker's tall.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's a good one. Got good fronts too.
Yep.
Curl's good. Rear curl. Heck yeah.
All right, just shot this nice buck at 265 yards with a sweet McWhorter rifle and 7 PRC. We're shooting 175 grain ELDXs today. Did the trick, man. One shot and drop. Couldn't be more pleased.
He got on the Leo photo. The antelope finally appeared at, I believe, 268 yards. He was quartered to slightly. He made a perfect shot on him. The goat ran about 30 yards and expired. And we had goat number 2 on the ground. Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about cases, brass. What's the foundation of your ammunition?
Yeah, so Mr. Allen, we talk about performance rifles real heavy, but they're only as good as what you feed it. So what's your go-to brass?
The ADG brass, we've been doing this forever and we've used everybody's brass. The ADG brass is the most consistent brass that we've ever used. The weight, primer pockets, everything about the brass is much better than all the other brass we've ever used. We weight sort brass usually, and with other brass, you got a wide range of weight sorts, and that's very important because, as we know, the outside dimensions of the case have always got to be the same to fit the chamber. So if the brass is drastically different in weight, then it's got to be the internal dimension, correct?
Correct, and that causes inconsistencies, and that's real important with the inconsistencies.
That's right. Pressure changes. I mean, when we do a load for somebody, we've got it all recorded, what the powder was, what the brass weight was, the primer and the whole 9 yards. So if you're not able to come back and replicate that with a case that weighs the same thing the next time, then that pretty much shoots everything out the window. But ADG is at the forefront of all brass makers. I mean, we've always used good brass, but this is the best there is.
And so they do more than just make brass too, right? They do other products.
They started making an amazing set of dies for different calibers, some of the popular calibers. They make annealing equipment now, and they even make some interchangeable bolt faces for Remington 700s, where you can go from a 223 bolt face to a Magnum bolt face.
That's pretty impressive. So they're definitely innovative.
They are definitely a innovative, cutting-edge company. So next time you're looking for a good brass case, if you're a hand loader, check out the ADG products. They've got all the standard stuff. They got a brand new list of brand new stuff, and I think it's very exciting what they're doing.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed.
That's your tip of the week, the True Precision tip of the week, brought to you by Allan and John and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market, proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
All right, so my buddies at ADG have both done good. Marlin shot his goat over 400 yards with his 6.5 PRC McWhorter. Mark made a good quartering shot at 268 yards with his 7 PRC McWhorter. On this hunt, I was using a 7 300 PRC, shooting 180 grain Hornady ELDM about 3,215 feet a second, just my favorite Antelope gun of all time. And we finally spotted a good goat. We spotted a really, really, really good goat. So Dave Phillips, my 6'9" friend from Oklahoma, and I take off. He's kind of spotting because he can see a whole lot further than I can at 5'9" or 5'10".
50 yards to the right of them poles right there. Maybe 75.
Awesome. That's him?
Yep.
We get close to this goat. We get within 500 or 600 yards of this big goat, and there's just so many antelope running in and out. We catch one that's behind a cholla, and I asked him, I said, "Is that our goat?" And he said, "Yeah, that's him. That's him. Kill him." So I ranged him with the SIG, 527 yards. Held a little wind. It was real windy that day.
Ready?
Put a perfect shot right through his lungs. He ran about 60 yards and piled up. I'm just on top of the world. Unfortunately, folks, the reason you won't see that shot is our cameraman double punched the camera and we did not record the kill shot. It happens, you know, when you do 10 hunts a year, 30 years in a row, you're gonna have something like that happen. Anybody can do it, even the most experienced cameraman. It is what it is. But here's the other kicker. My 6'9" friend had got me to shoot the wrong goat. Now it's on me too, because I should have waited for him to step out and got a really good look at him. But as soon as I shot this goat, he runs 60 yards, piled up, and this megalope walks out and just stands there looking at the goat that I just shot, thinking, I'm sure he's only got one tag. I can just prance around out here now and really make a show of myself, and that's what he did. All right, here's the 2024 Speed Goat, first hunt of the season. And we had spotted a really big goat, and it was a rush to get to him. We got a bunch of wind, and we got up, and long story short, the really big goat was out of sight. We saw this goat, mistook him for the big goat, but he's still a he's still a fine animal, and I'm happy to get to come out here with some good friends and customers. Marlin and Mark from ADG, and made a pretty good shot, 527 yards in it's about a 9 or 10 mile an hour wind now, so held about a minute and a half to the left. 7 LPRC, which is a 300 PRC, neck down to 7 millimeter. Another great goat out here in New Mexico. Made a pretty decent shot in 2024. New Mexico is in the books, except for maybe shooting some coyotes tomorrow. New Mexico chasing these speed coats has kind of become our first hunt of the year. Marlin and Mark are already chomping at the bit, anxious to go back next year. Can't wait to go back to New Mexico and chase these things with good friends.